Wow, we have big news coming out of Texas right now. Rangers have signed Marcus Semien to what is believed to be a 7-year deal. Um, and yeah, the deal has been reached, and Semien is going to the Texas Rangers. And boy, is this a great move. This is our first big free agent signing of the offseason, and it looks like a lot of free agents are close to signing, aka Kevin Gausman, aka Javi Baez, and Max Scherzer. A lot of these guys are close to signing, and the MLB offseason and the hot stove is heating up. So if you want great baseball content throughout the offseason, make sure to hit that subscribe button on this channel, turn notifications, and leave a like. And let's go ahead and get into this video. So the Rangers are signing Marcus Semien, and I think this is absolutely a great move. The Rangers have a really good third baseman, Josh Jung, in their farm system. And Marcus Semien on the other side of that left side of the infield is something to be really excited about. Because Marcus Semien slots in at second base or shortstop here. It doesn't really matter particularly. Fangraphs projects Marcus Semien at second and at shortstop for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. But I think this is an absolutely great move. The Rangers needed to make a big move like this for a young team. I think that this is an absolutely great idea to make a move. And it's even been said that just because they were interested in Marcus Semien, that didn't mean that they were out on Seager or Story. So they are still interested in what seems like Trevor Story and Corey Seager. So this is very interesting. And I mean, this is something to be very excited about if you're a Rangers fan. There's not been a lot to be excited about over the last couple of years, and Marcus Semien is somebody that is really exciting. He was the best second baseman in baseball this year. Now, there is a little question to the longevity of this contract because it's a 7-year contract, and this guy's 31 years old right now. And that's going to lead him into his 38-year-old season. Now, for Marcus Semien, it doesn't seem like this is a guy that's going to slow down too much. But in 2021, he posted 45 home runs, 102 RBIs, a 265 batting average, 334 on base percentage, 538 slugging, and an 873 OPS. He has been a little inconsistent. He was inconsistent in 2020, but we saw in 2019 as well that he was a very good player as well. And in 9 seasons in his MLB career, he's had 160 home runs, 482 RBIs, a 256 career average, a 324 on base percentage, a 444 slugging, and a 768 OPS. He's had a really solid career between the Blue Jays and the Oakland Athletics, and I mean, this is just a great move. I don't care what you say about the longevity of this contract. Right now, this is a great move, and the longevity is a question mark, but still, this is a great move. Now, the Rangers should not be done. They still have a lot to do this offseason to make them even close to a solid team because this team, even with Marcus Semien, is not a good team. They're terrible still with Marcus Semien. And they really don't have any good starting pitching. Their bullpen is okay, but, I mean, it's not that great either. Some of their bullpen key guys like Jonathan Hernandez and Jose Lyric may come back from Tommy John at some point next year. But their starting rotation is very young. A lot of the players on this team is very young. And, I mean, everybody besides Marcus Semien is under 30 years old in their starting lineup. And Marcus Semien is going to be a great guy in that locker room as well. And he's like one of the oldest players on this team. This team is not a team that is, I mean, they're not ready to compete. They still have at least 2 or 3 more years before they realistically are competing. I just think that they're not even close to competing right now. But still, bringing in Marcus Semien is a great move, a good start to your offseason. I mean, a really great start to your offseason. I mean, you're starting to look at that infield, looks very solid, actually. When Josh Jones called up at the start of 22 or whenever, this is a guy that maybe Nick Solak's on the way out there. But still, I mean, you've got Nate Lowe, Marcus Semien, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Josh Jung. I think that that's a really good infield, and they still need a lot of outfield help. Now, they've got Adolis in right field, but still, I mean, I think you need a lot of help in that outfield because I think the next guy they should go for is somebody like Sia Suzuki from Japan. I think that they should really go for a guy like him. And a lot of people are saying 7 years. Oh, my. and this is really good for him. But I mean, I really don't know about the longevity of this contract. For the first 2-3 years, you think you're definitely going to be getting something good out of this contract. But towards the back end of this contract, I think that I just think that towards the back end of this contract, you're not really getting. Now, I mean, sure, it's a good move for 3 years, but realistically, in those 3 years, how much are you going to be competing? I just don't see how much you're going to be competing in those 3 years. I just don't see it. I don't think that this team's going to be competing in the next 3 years, realistically, unless they really sign some star players and stuff. I just don't think they're going to be competing. And I think this is actually an okay move. I mean, it's a decent move, but it's not anything to write home about. For a team like, I mean, I just don't understand. Like, you're not going to be competing in 2 or 3 years, and then you're going to be getting his 35, 36, 37, 38-year-old self. This is an okay move, but I think they could have done better. I think they could have went for a younger guy like Corey Seager or Trevor Story. I think would have been better moves, and I think they absolutely should have went with them instead of Marcus Semien. If I grade this signing, I'm giving it like a B minus. I don't think it's great. Next thing we're going to talk about is Adam Frazier going to the Seattle Mariners after just half a season in San Diego last year. He is going to be heading to the Seattle Mariners. And Adam Frazier had a very good season last year. It was kind of his breakout season, but didn't perform too well in the big lights of San Diego. He had a 305 batting average last year with 5 home runs and 43 RBIs, a 368 on base percentage, a 411 slugging percentage, a 779 OPS, and a 114 OPS plus. I think that this is, it's not that, I mean, it's a solid move. And I think it actually has some underrated to it, actually. It does. It really has some underrated to it. I think that this is a move that could be really solid for the Seattle Mariners. I think that this is a move that, does it take him out of Corey Seager or Trevor Story? We don't know on that. But I think that both sides kind of benefit from this deal. Now, who knows what the Padres are going to look to do in free agency or stuff. But I think that I think that the Mariners win this trade, to be honest. I don't think that the Padres win this trade. Now, Ray Kerr is a player who they got in return, pitcher, outfielder, and first baseman. And in 2021, he posted a 2-1 record with a 3.45 ERA, then got called up AAA, where he posted a 4.09 ERA. I'm pretty sure this is the one who can throw just about north of 100. And then you get outfielder Corey Rosieri. But, I mean, he posted in 2021 3 home runs, 23 RBIs, and a 390 batting average. I just think that the Mariners win this trade. I think it's pretty simple. The Padres lose a big bat, too, and don't really get enough back, to be honest. I think that they could have done better, but they didn't. And the Rays are signing Corey Kluber, which I think is a really, really good move. I think that the Rays are going to make him into like an ace-type player, and his incentives are only up to $13 million, so it's not too big of a gamble. And the Twins and Byron Buxton agree on an extension. I want to talk about this, touch on this for a minute here. But the Twins and Byron Buxton, 7 years, $100 million. This is really good for the Twins, actually. You get $14.2 million for a guy that, if he can stay healthy, is going to be in his prime during this. And I think that this is a really, really solid move for the Twins to bring him back. And he was one of the most likely players to be traded this offseason. But now Byron Buxton is not going to be traded, clearly. 7 years, $100 million. I think that this is a really good contract for the Twins, and this shows that they're going to try to they're committing to the future and bringing Byron Buxton back. So yeah, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications. What do you think about the Rangers and them signing Marcus Semien? What do you think about the Byron Buxton extension? What do you think about the Rays signing Corey Kluber? What do you think about that? That's the end of today's video. There might be another one because the hot stove's heating up. So leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications for great baseball content throughout the offseason. Like I said, the hot stove's heating up. If you want a place for great baseball content on YouTube, right here, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and peace.